This is a video about my personal blowout kit or trauma kit. It's actually a remake. I posted a video about my blowout kit and then started looking at other videos by other people about blowout kits and decided I had something more to say about it, so I decided to reshoot. Now, I've got my blowout kit mounted on the back of my combat vest, and I just have it there. This is not where it rides. I have it there for demonstration purposes. First, a word about the blowout kit. To me, a blowout or trauma kit is a specialized kit for massive trauma injuries, such as in my case, this is going to be for gunshot wounds. I do not have the medical training for dealing with anything more than basic first aid, and that's what this is. This is basic first aid for gunshot wounds, massive bleeding injuries. All right. I notice in a lot of people's videos that they'll say this is their trauma kit or their blowout kit, and then there's just so much stuff in there, and it turns out to be a giant first aid kit. It's not what this is. I have a first aid kit. I have a kit with all my little boo-boo patches and band-aids and such. That's not what this is. And because I am not a EMT or any kind of medical professional, this does not have any gear in it that I am not qualified to use. That being said, let's go ahead. I've decided to build my blowout kit inside of an Air Force issue IFAC kit. Get this at any surplus store that's worth a darn. Now, the reason I have it mounted is so that I can show that everything in the kit can be taken out and it comes away all in one piece. Now, here's the import of this, is if you don't understand why so many of these kits come on a cord. This kit is mounted on your body, let's say, whether it's on a combat vest or some sort of, as we said in the Marine Corps, 782 gear or some sort of load-bearing equipment. And you're injured, you're hurt, you're wounded, you pulled this out, it's still all together, and you can get to it without losing it into the dirt, it getting away from you. All right? Now let's look at the insides, the guts of this kit. The first thing on the outside is an Israeli trauma wound dressing. The Israeli bandages are really good. There's plenty of videos on how to use them. I'm not going to open one just to show you. Now, I do recommend, if you buy these, that you buy enough that you can take one, open it up, and use it for training. And that's what I've done. I've got one put away. It's in a Ziploc bag. And once every now and then, I'll pull it out and force my wife to learn how to use it again and remind myself about how to use it. Israeli bandage. Then you open the kit itself. And what you've got is, first of all, a tourniquet. My tourniquet sits inside of its own little package. If you want, you can zip tie it closed. You can use rubber bands, whatever, but make sure your tourniquet's not flopping around. Then I've got elastic tape. I've got a latex-free elastic bandage. I've got count them, two 4x7 combat bandages, regular old compression. One just happens to be Israeli, one happens to be GI. I have rubber gloves. Now, why rubber gloves if this is my own personal kit? Because if I'm at the gun range and somebody accidentally shoots their knee off or something like that happens, I'm somehow getting involved in an active shooter and I'm treating other people and I'm having to use my kit to treat other people, then I want to use rubber gloves, latex-free gloves. Now, let's talk about that for a second. This is supposed to be your kit. We're taught in the military, you use a wounded buddy's kit on him. You don't use your kit on a wounded buddy. But once you leave the military and you're out in the civilian world again, like me, Or let's say you're off-duty EMT or off-duty cop, or you're just a sheepdog, a civilian sheepdog, and you come across something at the range. You come across a terrible accident where somebody's bleeding. Let's say you come across a Boston Marathon massacre, which I don't know if you've read or heard about this, but the hero of the Boston Marathon bombing was the tourniquet. Let's say you run across some of these. These people are not going to be your combat buddies that have their own IFAC, that have their own blowout kit. Okay, so you're going to be called on to use your own kit that you normally build for yourself on them, and that's where the gloves come in. The last two items are a small set of shears. I like the small ones. Usually the normal ones are way too big. Got these from Mil-Spec Monkey. Nice price. They work great. Come in different colors. And last but not least, a Sharpie or permanent marker. What is this for? Well, if you have a tourniquet and you're going to use a tourniquet, you need to have some way of recording when that tourniquet got used. Some tourniquets come with a white strip to write on. If you don't have that kind of tourniquet, you write on their forehead. But you write down when you use the tourniquet. Because let's say you are in a Boston Marathon bombing situation and you're helping people and you're going from person to person, from victim to victim, helping them. You're not necessarily going to stay with that person that you put the tourniquet on. You write this down so that first responders coming after you will know when the tourniquet was placed and can take proper action. So there you have it. That is my trauma kit. As I said, this is not a booba kit. This is not an IFAC. It's very simple. It's very small, although it does fill up the pouch, and it only has what I need. Thanks.